Neither Jey Uso nor Charlotte Flair will main event WWE WrestleMania 41. Predicts analyst Jey Uso and Charlotte Flair have won the men's and women's Royal Rumble matches, respectively. However, WWE analyst SAM Roberts claimed neither will headline WrestleMania 41 following his Royal Rumble victory. Jey Uso confronted both the undisputed WWE champion, Cody Rhodes, and the World Heavyweight Champion, Gunter, before choosing to challenge the latter at this year's showcase of the Immortals. Meanwhile, Flair stood face-to-face with Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley, NXT Women's Champion Gilia, and WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Straton. However, she has yet to choose her WrestleMania opponent, while Royal Rumble winners are supposed to main event WrestleMania. According to WWE rules, not all previous victors did. On his Not Sam Wrestling podcast, Sam Roberts disclosed that he currently believes neither Uso nor Flair will headline this year's show of shows. If you're asking me right now, I don't think Jey Uso or Charlotte will be in the last match of either Night 1 or Night 2 of WrestleMania this year. Could be wrong. Could absolutely be wrong. But I don't think so, he said. WWE veteran also thinks Jey Uso won't headline WrestleMania. Speaking on the Coach and Bro show, former interim Raw general manager Jonathan Coachman also predicted that Jey Uso would not main event WrestleMania 41 despite winning the men's Royal Rumble. The wrestling veteran suggested the former Intercontinental Champion could kick off one of the two WrestleMania nights. I don't think he's going to be a part of the main event, even though that's what it's supposed to be when you win the Royal Rumble, because I've always said if you start a show off and everybody is yeeting, that's an incredible look, he said. Jey Uso had previously headlined Night 1 of WrestleMania 39 when he teamed up with his twin brother, Jimmy, to fight Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It will be interesting to see if he does it again this year. Charlotte Flair to lose to 143 pounds top WWE superstar at WrestleMania in a scenario proposed by analyst Charlotte Flair will challenge for a women's championship at WWE WrestleMania 41. Analyst Sam Roberts recently suggested a scenario where the Queen would suffer an unexpected defeat at the show of shows after over a year of absence due to injury. The 14-time women's champion returned to win the 2025 Women's Royal Rumble match. Over the following week, Flair confronted the Women's World Champion Rhea Ripley on Raw, the NXT Women's Champion Gilia on NXT, and the WWE Women's Champion Tiffany Straton on SmackDown. She claimed she was looking for a champion to inspire her before she picked which of them she would challenge at WrestleMania. Then on his Not Sam Wrestling podcast, Roberts suggested that Flair challenge Straton. He claimed the company should lead everyone to believe the Queen would dethrone the 143-pound champion heading into the show of shows and even tease post-WrestleMania feuds for the second-generation superstar. The easiest story that I can think of to tell is do whatever you can do to convince people that Tiffany Straton is holding the Women's Championship until WrestleMania, and she is simply holding it for Charlotte Flair. Start teasing rivalries for after WrestleMania that Charlotte Flair will be in as the women's champion. Do everything you can to convince as many people as possible that whether you like it or not, Charlotte Flair is going to win the WWE Women's Championship at WrestleMania, he said. The Raw Talk host pointed out that WWE should let fans boo Flair and cheer for Straton heading into the premium live event. He added that the 14-time women's champion could then lose to the 25-year-old and eventually gain more respect. Then when you get to WrestleMania, Charlotte can lose. Make them think that Charlotte is going to win, and if she doesn't, people go nuts for it. And ultimately, Charlotte will probably get more respect for it. Magnum T.A thinks Charlotte Flair will win the WWE Women's title at WrestleMania. Wrestling veterans Magnum T.A and Greg Ghani discussed Charlotte Flair's Royal Rumble win on the Straight Talk with the Boss podcast. They predicted she would go after Tiffany Straton, while Ghani suggested Nia Jax could interfere to cost Tiffy Time the title at WrestleMania. Magnum claimed the Queen would leave the show of shows with the WWE Women's Championship under any circumstances. Here's what I'm thinking. She goes for Tiffany and Nia Jax gets involved, Ghani said. Well, it really doesn't matter who gets involved. She's Charlotte Flair gonna walk out with the belt, Magnum T.A responded. It would be interesting to see if Flair would win her 15th Women's Championship at this year's showcase of the Immortals. Charlotte Flair, whose real name is Ashley Flair, filed for divorce on June 18th 2024, and a judge finalized their divorce on October 10th, 2024. People confirmed on February 5th. TMZ was the first to rep her. Charlotte Flair broke a long-standing WWE tradition to show she's a perfect natural heel. Charlotte Flair triumphantly returned to wrestling at the WWE Royal Rumble Premium Live event, competing in her first match in over a year after a serious knee injury. She was pre-announced for the match, so it wasn't a surprise moment, but in typical Flair fashion, she made sure everyone left the show talking about her. That's because the Queen returned with a bang, winning the Women's Royal Rumble and booking her place at WWE WrestleMania 41. However, after a brief moment in the sun as a babyface, fans brought her crashing back down to earth with a bang by booing her out of the building the following night, proving her quality as a heel by going against a classic wrestling tradition. Typically, in wrestling, whenever someone returns from a serious injury, they're welcomed back with a babyface run because fans are just happy to see them. Considering the length of time that Charlotte was sidelined for, coupled with her general star power, most people presumed that would be the case here. Charlotte Flair didn't get the welcome back babyface run. Flair got a good reception in the Royal Rumble match itself, and that seemed to set things up positively for a babyface run. However, the next night on WWE Raw, fans hated her again, and it was as if no time had passed from her previous run in WWE, despite the fact she was cutting a genuinely babyface promo about the adversities she's dealt with and the problems she's had to overcome. Fans just seem to have zero sympathy for Flair. It's a unique situation for someone to be in, but it does prove that she's a genuinely fantastic heel. And that's not easy to find when someone is also a terrific in-ring talent like she is. That WWE consistently makes booking mistakes with Charlotte Flair. Big reason fans immediately turned on Charlotte Flair after her return is that there appears to be nothing new with her character or in how WWE is booking her. From the moment she arrived on the main roster, WWE has forced her into main event positions, racking up title wins to seemingly catch her father's record as quickly as possible. None of that aligns with a babyface, so people prefer to cheer the likes of Bayley or Becky Lynch. Fans like to see someone scrap and earn their opportunities, and returning from a serious injury like Flair did provide WWE the chance to tell that story with Flair, having her narrowly miss out and be forced to scrap for everything. However, WWE just had her waltz back and immediately won the Royal Rumble. That's the same type of booking the company has always done. Unfortunately, at this stage, audiences are genuinely tied to it. Flair might be an incredible professional wrestler, but she has become stagnant, and that's a problem for her character. The fact that fans wasted no time telling WWE exactly that isn't a positive sign either. There are certain wrestlers who fans cannot imagine as a heel, such as Rey Mysterio, but Charlotte Flair falls into the opposite category. While she's been a babyface in the past, it is a role that's never quite suited her and has never felt truly organic or natural when it has been attempted. Charlotte Flair is unlikely to ever work as a babyface. A big reason for that is her overall presentation. While some fans can get cheered for claiming they're the best in the world, such as CM Punk, Flair cannot. Seeing her walk out in huge robes or wearing designer gear for promos all push a classic heel character, and her often arrogant persona only supports that Flair is a genuinely brilliant heel who always gets a massive reaction from the fans, which is crucial for anyone in this role. WWE doesn't have many of these at the top level, and that's why the company might just consider never changing her at this point. The path forward for Charlotte can already be seen, as she is now fully leaning into her heel gimmick, as was shown on last week's SmackDown during her promo with Tiffany Straton. There's no turning back now. Charlotte Flair shows off new physique. Sends message to fans. Charlotte Flair showed off her impressive new physique on social media following this week's edition of WWE